guys, and welcome back to today's show. Yay! My name is Justina, and on today's episode, I have some people with me, some amazing people. Yeah, me.
My name is Joshua Adebayo.
I'm Sunday Dress Azura, aka the Master Chef.
Just hold the market. Thank you. So this is Relay Right here. We'll talk about everything relationship, anything related to relationship, trash relationship issues, talk about everything. So you're welcome. Today I have a list of questions that I'll be asking these people to get their opinion. And you can also drop your opinion in the comment section. Let's know what you think about these questions. And without further ado,
You can go first.
let's jump right into this video. You guys, the first question is, at what point do you think people should say, I'm done with this relationship?
Okay.
I can't take this anymore. At what point?
Alright, okay, so relationship, based on my own understanding and based on what I've been able to know over the years and grow into, is a mutual understanding. Like, it's based on mutual understanding. And it's based on when you both, the two partners, can actually partner together. And when at some point you begin to recognize or identify some particular traits that you cannot really cope with. Take for example someone that that wasn't very, very aggressive, maybe from the very beginning, and it's becoming so increased and so heightened in a way. And it's actually affecting your mental health. The only point when you know that, okay, you can cut a relationship quit is when you know that it's actually affecting you more than how it's affecting you negatively than it is affecting you positively.
Okay.
If the influence is more negative than it is positively, then I believe that, you can kind of cut it,
Okay.
quit, and, just walk away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from what you said, I want to ask another question.
Okay.
Now, you just said when it's becoming aggressive and stuff. But before people enter inside relationship,
Yeah.
is it that they didn't to see it?
Well, there is something I came to understand recently, that it is important for you to actually move beyond emotion to the point of understanding, not just actually entering into relationship by emotion. It's not based on emotion, but make sure you try to ask as many questions as possible. Get to know somebody, before you even get into something something you want to commit yourself to in the long run. So, but for so many people, there are so many people that really do not spend time in the place of questioning, in the place of really, really realizing some things before they get into it. And then, at some point, they just get into it and they begin to see some particular things that were not there from the very beginning. There are some particular things that can be corrected in a relationship, and there are some things that cannot really be corrected. So you need to be able to understand this person at some point. Relationship is all about actually coping with some particular things. It's not like there won't be ordeals or there won't be any problem. But when you get into it and you realize that there are some particular things that are actually too extreme, it's something that it's not encouraging. So I feel sometimes it's just okay that you just let go.
And let go.
And let go.
Okay, so thank you so much for your response. Even though I feel like I have lots of questions from what you have just said.
Okay.
But we move on.
Okay.
So, massage therapist. Please, can you tell us at what point do you think people
I'm
should
still
say,
trying.
I am done with this relationship? I can't do this.
Okay, for me personally, I think we have a different level to this. For me personally, I would say once I realize my mental health is at stake, because I don't joke with that. Once I realize I need to beg you to do something, I realize that I need to force you to do something. I realize that I need to compel you.
Yeah.
It's different for you to force someone and compel someone. I need to compel you to do some certain things. And when I also realized that this thing is getting aggressive, like you said, aggressiveness is not really until when you drag the person's clothes, probably in words. If you're trying to have a conversation with this person and this person is turning it, let me use this word, it's turning it to gris. You just know, you just know that, okay, okay. And someone like
And
me
it's
now,
now even consistent.
yes, consistent with it. And someone like me now, like I'm sort of person that I observe, not just observe with way you do things, I observe with words too. So once I realize that I've been aggressive with your words, I'm like, okay, I think this is where we have to put a full stop to it. Because if we let this thing slide, because when you're in a relationship, you're in love, like, okay, let us let it slide, let it slide. And before you know, your cup is already filled up. You won't be able to do anything, and then you just realize you have landed in marriage, which it will be very difficult for you to go out. So once you start realizing all these little things that you just feel you can take your eyes off it, that you just quit it there. But most people find it very, very difficult to do so. But thank God for me, shall I guess more.
Okay.
I guess more grace for it. So once I start realizing things like this, no.
Okay, and even from what she said, I believe relationship should kind of like help you to know much more about your self-worth, and not actually downplay your self-worth.
Yes.
In a way by which it actually affects your self-esteem. I have a kind of a story of a particular friend, she mentioned to me, which is one of the reasons why she actually left the relationship, was the fact that the guy will be using some particular words that are not actually okay, and it's actually affecting her esteem. Some vulgar words, and he was so consistent with that. And then he was now getting too much. You are not actually supporting in some things. There are really no 100% commitment and stuff like that. And then you are still now using words, and then being so, at some point you even be entitled to some things. Or maybe you do something for her, and then you be like, you hone her like that. It should be like a kind of, just like you said, partnership. You are not forcing, you are not entitled or anything, even though you know that both of you are working together. But then there must be a kind of a free space in between both of you. You are doing things out of relationship is actually selfless service. It's not like being selfish, much more. So I feel when you get to the point whereby you realize that what you get from the commitment you are giving, right, is more negative than what you are giving personally. I think it's actually okay, to just let go. The most important thing that is so bad is now you continue with that relationship till you get married. Because divorce is actually not a good one.
So let me ask you a question now. Thank you so much. But I want to ask a question from what she said. So, but why do people find it hard to leave relationships like this? There are so many people dealing with stuff like this. They can't, I don't know, for the life of it, they can't find a way to leave. They prefer to be there and let their self-esteem keep going low. Why do people find it hard to leave abusive relationships?
Okay, well, let me put it this way. Some people, when you ask people these kind of questions, some people take it to the terms of monetary aspect of it. But let's take the monetary aspects of it out now. There are some ladies that are well-to-do, they are good-looking. Let me say they pretend to us that they have this self-esteem, but the truth there is that it's not there. Imagine you giving your totality to someone, you're giving your vulnerability to that person, you're giving your stupidness to the person. Let me say you're just giving the person everything of you. You're giving the person everything, and out of the sudden you just realize that this person is actually taking you for granted. Apart from giving that person all these things, you've shown this person to virtually everybody you happen to be responsible to. After showing, imagine showing this person to, everybody already known that, these are people, let us be looking in the space of 6-5 months to be getting married. This person is dealing with so much issues at home. It might not really be the aspect of beating or fighting or so. It might be little things like words, how the person take care of you, how the person sees you, all those kind of little things might really be what it. And you down deep inside your heart, you know that you need to quit this thing. But then you start thinking, what will people say?
Hmm.
What will my pastor say? What will my pastor's wife say? What will my mom say? What will my sister say? Oh, I will not pepper them again online. I will not do this
So I'll
again.
not pepper
And you
them.
understand, you keep on holding and holding these little things together until they turn to chacking charm for you. You'll not be able to let go. I'm sorry for using this kind of words, just to like express myself better. So you'll not be able to let go again, and you keep enduring till you get suffocated. And by then you're already in marriage, then you start hearing people use that word. I've had enough of this, I've feeding, I've done this, I've done that. Whereas when it was there, the red flag was there, but you were actually hoping maybe hypo will come from somewhere to change it to white. So you understand. So you know it might sound funny, but that's really the truth. You see ladies that have money, you see ladies with very, very good self-esteem, you see ladies that are very, very intelligent, but you see all these little things are where they just like hide in their shell. They won't be able to express it. They don't want to tell people that are already shouting God when on their head. They won't want to like disappoint those set of people. They keep on enduring and enduring. So if you are that type of lady, just be someone like me that has small squish in her head. If something like that happens, run for your dear life, my sister. Me, I like enjoyment. Amala is my hobby. So anything that will give me problem or anything that will take Amala from my mouth, I dey run away from
Okay, so yeah, from what she said,
Wow.
I got something from what she said. You know, relationship has to be something that you enjoy, not something that you endure.
Definitely.
I mean, you must move beyond the part where you are enduring things to when you are actually doing things that actually gives you pleasure. You are not being forced to love somebody. You are not being forced to remain in that relationship. You are not being forced to kind of like make yourself feel like you have a worth. I mean, you are doing it with all pleasure. You know, but at some point I feel she has mentioned so many categories, but I feel a lot of people are actually afraid of being alone. And the pressure that society has actually painted that singlehood is not so there is something called sacredness of singlehood, where you get to know really what it means to be single and enjoy your singlehood. But a lot of people do not spend some time in the place of really being themselves. Before I started longing after say I want to be in a relationship, I've spent a lot of years not even thinking about relationship, just me growing myself and everything like that. But a lot of people do not want to, because of pressure, God when, my view, your view. Never, just don't go into relationship based on pressure. Just make sure, first of all, it is not, I'm not talking about the popular way that they will say self something, body. There is this popular trending thing that they will say, I love myself. There is this particular popular self-love. Now, I'm not talking about self-love. I'm not talking about the social media self-love, but you must get to the point whereby you actually get to know yourself. You actually get to cherish yourself. You know who you are. I mean, you know what you are personally. When God says you are amazing, you know that. In a way that when somebody is not even telling you you are loved, you already know you are loved. So it is very much important that we know that first of all, you must be able to be complete in yourself, first of all. In a way that when you begin to identify some behavior in some kind of a person, and then another thing that came to mind is that one person is not only created for you to be in a relationship with. So don't let anybody kind of like fool you that there is is Bosse that God created for me. And if Bosse is making some things and is behaving somehow, I must not leave that relationship because she's the only person that God created. My dear, you will go through things. So so it is important that it's just very much important for so many people who are going into marriage specifically. Make sure you spend your time in the place of dating, in the place of courtship. Ask as many questions as possible.
And spend your time in the place of prayer.
In the place of prayer. It starts with God.
Yes.
If your relationship does not start with God, then I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Okay. So thank you guys. But something else, I just remembered something now. still talking about how people don't get to leave abusive relationship. So I would have her answer the question because she's female. So there's this story of somebody I heard. She was a virgin. Then she got into this relationship. Then it was the guy that disvirgined her. Then the guy started maltreating her.
Wow.
So now she couldn't leave the relationship because in her head, this was the first person that had something to do with me. So how would I? Because she's in code, she's a decent person. She's not like Rodriguez. She's a decent person, but it happened. The guy actually, what's that word again?
Lured her.
Lured her to do it. So she couldn't leave that relationship because she felt, what will I say? How will I even tell my next, maybe my future husband, or maybe even the next person I get in a relationship with, that I am not a virgin, I can't say this, I can't say that. So that kept her in that relationship. What would you have to say to that?
Okay, before she actually answers, maybe based on the fact that you said she's a...
That's not, they are not gender biased.
What I want to say is that it is very much important that you actually know what you believe in from the very beginning of so many things, in a way that anyone who is coming into your life aligns with your belief system. So relationship is not just all about the emotional part of it. God did not only create relationship for emotions. God creates relationship for purpose. So you don't look out for the emotional part, you look out for the purpose in it. So if the person does not align with your belief system, your core belief system, like you said she's a very decent person.
Yes.
Is she a believer? If she's a believer, how was she able to, be lured by a guy like that? Now, first thing, that one is being sorted. Make sure you sort your belief system. And if peradventure you find yourself in a situation like this, it is important that you know that at times we make mistakes.
That's a good cushion.
At times you might kind of like make mistakes. Yes, you made mistakes. You personally made mistakes because it's either we like it or not. Before we actually move to looking at other people for our mistakes, we need to look at ourselves. So it is very much important. So you need to agree that you make mistakes, and you need to also know that you've already made that mistake. So the most important thing that you need to do is forgive yourself from that mistake
first,
and now learn how to correct what has been done, not you allowing that same mistake to taunt you. Because at the core of mistakes are actually guilt. Where you keep being like, you know what, oh my God, you are no longer pure, you are no longer this. It will now start bringing your self-esteem down and everything like that. So you need to forget about it. You need to forgive yourself. You need to let go and actually let God, and let God mend the broken heart which has been lost.
This is
right down, pastor.
So it is because if you actually do not allow yourself to get healed from your flaws, there's no how you will be able to actually move forward and actually get to identify the truth that will now guide you to the realities that you want to see. So it is very much important.
Please, after all this thing that you said, do you have anything to say?
So the fact that now bring it down, the fact that the guy was the first person and everything, you have no reasons. The fact that he has even breached your belief system explains the fact that you cannot even be with that person. Because I'm actually answering this question based on what you said. She's a decent person and she was lured. A guy or a lady that will love you will not actually want you to intentionally make mistakes. They love you so much. It's just like Jesus. Jesus will not. That's why he said he gave us an helper. Giving us something that will guide us through. So that means he loves you so much to actually try as much as possible to prevent you from every necessary and unnecessary mistake. So anyone who will love you will not intentionally say, you know what, let me lure you to sleep with you, take away your virginity and all that. When you know that, my belief does not agree with it. And I believe that the guy will definitely know that she's a very decent person. But you know that there are some people that you need to actually leave them in the place of acquaintance and not bring them to your circle. Because why? Their level of understanding is different from yours.
I hope you guys are learning.
So
it's not about the learning now. Listening. You listen and you digest it.
Yes.
So
because you might learn now and forget. But listen and digest it.
So it is very, very much important. Relationship is a big deal.
Yes.
You know, and it's not only for you. You need to think ahead. Not just for you and your significant other. You need to think about the generation ahead of you. So it is very much important.
Thank you so much.
I rest
Joshua,
my case. Anybody.
Please, the massage therapist. What do you have to say?
After this, so what else do I want to say? Because he has actually nailed it already. So let me now take you out of the biblical aspect of this. My sister, if something happens, it don't happen. When egg break, we no fit pack am together. The only thing where you go do in order for it not to smell is to spray water around it so that it will not smell. So my advice for you, my sister, with your food chest, you don't do am. With that same food chest, you go stand up, you go dust your body. Mistakes happen in life, and once you find yourself in such situation, you don't have to live in regret, because when you live in regret, depression sets in. And once depression sets in, self-esteem, you start having problems to self-esteem. It's just like when you finish having sex for the first time, it's like everybody knew you had sex. You're not looking like that. So I'm just trying to like tell you, my sister, that such thing has happened. It has happened. You don't have to like lower your standard to the extent of letting one man rubbish you. Please stand up, put on your high heel, put on a nice cologne, and dust yourself off and move on.
You're talking like my pastor. That's one thing I said, because he had a YouTube live regarding this recently, about breakups.
Yes, you just have to move on. Shit happens. Things happen, because once you keep nailing yourself there, and funny enough, you're going to meet men, wonderful men,
there are amazing people out there.
That even like, is it just once? No problem, I will repackage you. You don't need to look at your past. Your future matters. It's how you present. You're already a decent person, so just continue like that. You've made a mistake. The only thing you just have to do is not to make that mistake happen again. Because they say if it happens 2 times, you don't know, say you purposely do them. So don't just let
and
the mistake
before we actually
again.
leave this particular question, it is important that everybody know this. Move beyond emotion.
That's it.
Think about purpose in a way that when a guy starts doing some things or some lady is giving you so much attention, you do not actually forget your belief in the process.
Yes.
So it is very much important for so many people that has not made these mistakes yet.
Don't make it.
Don't make it though.
Alright.
Don't make it though, because won't come to this YouTube to come and tell you what to do tomorrow. We are telling you now, don't make it though. See, they will deceive you. Don't fall.
Oh God, I must confess, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And I'm so sure you're going to enjoy watching this. So thank you so much. If you stayed to the end of this video, let us know what you think about these topics in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. You cannot just be coming here to watch videos. Subscribe, let us grow. So till next time, be the reason why somebody feels loved. Bye.
Catch
Thank
ya.
you.